How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Beyond the Door 3. This is from 1989, directed by Jeff Kwitny, and stars Mary Kohnert, Svenson and Victoria Zinny. And I will say, in regards to the Beyond the Door title, yeah, the Beyond the Door sequels were pretty loose. Basically, the studio just grabbing up kind of similar movies and retitling them. Beyond the Door 2 was actually Shock, the Mario Bava film, and this one has an alternate title that I like way more, and that is Amok Train, because it's about a train that gets possessed and runs amok, and all the glorious insanity that comes with that idea. I really love trains, and to find a train horror movie, that's always really fun. But the way that the movie goes insane, the way that it goes off the rails, is really fun. There's lots of crazy, weird kills in this. You know, people turn into a bad mannequin and get run over by the train. The train does a bunch of crazy things, and there's explosions and weird characters like this mysterious guy that doesn't talk and just plays the flute, and like a cartoon witch that looks like something out of EC Comics. It goes pretty crazy. If you guys like, you know, the cheesier, crazier side of horror, I can definitely recommend it. If you like the over-the-top Italian films, this is a really, really good example of that. Although that being said, yeah, there are some flaws. I mean, for example, with the weird anything can happen plot structure, at times it does ramble a little bit, and there's things like, okay, no matter what we do, the train's just not gonna go down. And they try to stop it by messing with the tracks, and I'm like, we've been off the rails before. I don't think this is gonna stop it. And also with that low budget, there are times when it gets good, like, you know, people turning into mannequins and then getting killed in spectacular ways. That's fine, but there are some of the bigger moments that you could tell they just didn't quite have the budget to do, and there's a few awkward cuts where you can tell they had to shoot around something. But in general, this is fun and over the top and actually pretty well made. You know, all the special effects you have to do with a train, they were able to pull off quite a bit of them, and the cinematography is actually pretty good. The shots are pretty well composed and lit, and there's a few really interesting shots, you know, like below the train looking up at the hitch while it's moving. It's actually shot pretty well and fairly well made, and overall, I can definitely recommend it if you want a cheesy train horror movie that goes over the top, and I think this is pretty fun. Anyway though, I do want to take a moment and analyze it a little deeper. I mean, a movie as weird and random as this is, I do have a lot I would like to talk about. I'll be avoiding the end bits, so no major spoilers, but I do want to dive in and take a look at a few fun moments from this. First off, we begin with a class, and the class is going to take a trip to Eastern Europe. I think it's like Serbia or something, and the teacher is telling them about this, and they're all, you know, excited to go, but one girl, who's kind of the new girl, she's kind of shy and she's not really friends with everyone else. Well, it turns out her family just so happens to be from this area, and in fact, before she goes, her mother gives her a big old creepy book, which of course she's not really gonna pay too much attention to, but she also has this big birthmark. It takes up like most of her stomach, and it's a big V for virgin that's going to come up later. And I do like, you know, talking about the weird way this movie's cut together. You know, like the previous scene was them talking in school, and then cut super abruptly and out of nowhere to the shower scene to introduce the birthmark. Boy, that was kind of jarring. But anyway, the teacher sends them off to Eastern Europe by themselves. Yeah, the teacher just says, you're gonna meet this guide, and I won't even describe him, you'll just know who he is when you see him, and just sends the kids off. I mean, even if they're supposed to be college students, that's a shocking lack of protection for these kids, and the guy meets them and takes them to this small little village in the middle of nowhere. Like, all the buildings are made out of like sticks, and all the people have like these weird brown hats on, and they're all staring at the outsiders like, who are you? What are you doing here? You know, shades of Wicker Man there. But there's this fun scene. The main guy separates the final girl, takes her to this cabin, and insists that she drink the hot soup. And as he's talking this soup up, you see this witch there with a big smile on her face, like, yes, eat the soup, eat the soup. And anyway, when they all go to sleep, the villagers start to nail their doors shut, and somehow they don't wake up through this. But they do wake up when all of her classmates, they burn down the houses that they're in, and most of them do get out, and they get on this nearby train. And on the train, there's like a bunch of people still staring at them like, you know, who are you and what are you doing? But when the conductor meets the final girl and she starts speaking in their native language, he warms up to them and takes them to the front of the train, and I thought, okay, maybe they're in on it or something. But no, they outran the villagers, but not the evil spirit, and the evil spirit is now in the train, and it quite quickly and in creative fashion dispatches all the people that work on the train. And I won't spoil them all, but one of the more fantastical ones is when the train separates and a guy gets in between them, and then it abruptly claps back together and squishes him, and he explodes like he's just a big bag full of blood. That's pretty crazy. But anyway, the train doesn't really get all the way back together, and those cars just, you know, get left behind, and that little bit of the train just shoots on forward with pretty much just the main characters left. But we do get some fun other characters as well. I really like, there's like a thief character that was not supposed to be on the train, but she's like crafty and resourceful. And there's this strange guy in a cloak playing the flute, and he doesn't talk and you don't know what he's up to. But when you find out who he is at the end of the movie, it is such a great out-of-nowhere pull that I absolutely love it. I will say, though, the movie does have a few tangents. Like, two of their friends don't get on the train, and you think they'd be quickly dispatched of, but it does go, like, randomly back to them, and you're like, wait, why are we checking in with these characters still? They're not got super much to do. But their plot does end in a spectacular way, so okay, we can leave them in. But we also get the railroad people who notice the train's missing, and from there, it kind of is like a separate disaster movie with these characters, trying to figure out where the train is and what it's doing and trying to find a way to stop it. Again, they don't do much, but they're fun enough. The main part, though, is on the train. You have this girl, and you have a bunch of her friends, and you know they're going to get picked off in fun, crazy, over-the-top ways, and it really does have a few insane ideas. One part I really do love is the front of the train, the engine. The flames are going, like, way too high, and that's kind of like the evil, scary room. But at one point, the main girl's in it, and there's this flashing red warning light, and it almost turns into like a David Lynch movie for a minute, where some mysterious evil voice is going to be talking to her through the flashing red light. It's pretty crazy. And yeah, as I said, some parts of the movie kind of go off on weird tangents, and it doesn't always have the budget to do the insane stuff that it wants to do, but the movie generally does fire, and it generally does go pretty hard, and I really do love how goofy and insane this goes. And I mean, a movie about a crazy train, the Amok Train, the train runs amok. Okay, maybe we've tried to blow up the train a few times and nothing's hurting it, so what can we really even do? Don't think about it, just watch the train do silly train things. And I had a good time with this. I can definitely recommend it. Again, on the cheesier, weirder side, but if you want something like that, this is pretty fun. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom if you guys want to see more. You can click right there and see more. It should be my Italian horror playlist. I've talked about quite a few Italian horror movies. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.